webinar on high precision die mold machining, 360-degree, a comprehensive approach. This session has been organized under the aegis of the Manufacturing Expert Committee of the BCIC. We would like to specially thank Mr. Prakash Ji, Chair, Mr. Ramesh, Co-Chair, and Dr. Devarajan, Mentor, and also Mr. Shiva Ganesh, member of the Expert Committee, for curating this session for the benefit of the members. The speaker for today's session is Mr. Ashok S.L., Zonal Manager, FA Application, SZNE, Hanuk, India. We'd like to also thank Mr. Ashok for accepting our invitation to address on this important subject. We also like to thank all the participants for joining today's session. We request all the participants to kindly mute your mic and webcam options. This is to enhance and keep the bandwidth strong, as well as avoid any disturbance in the background. Please post your questions in the chat box only. Also, and our speaker will respond to the questions during the session. And in case time do not permit, we shall be sharing the queries to the speaker and will revert back accordingly. The session for the moderation for the session will be by Mr. Ramesh, the co-chair of the Manufacturing Expert Committee. May I now invite Mr. Ramesh to set the context for today's session and also introduce the speaker to take it forward. Thanking you all once again. Over to you, Ramesh, sir.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Prithvi.
Just a moment, sir. Mr. Navdeep, we would request you to kindly switch off the web camera, please.
Okay, I'll switch off the web camera once my introduction completes.
And yes, sir. And one more initiative, I would like to say that few of the organizations have shared this session. They are sharing this session in their production hall instead of only one logging into the webinar, sir. So they have told that around 15 of them are viewing there in the production hall, sir. So this is one of the
great. That's great. But in my organization, I've asked people to join individually. I do not know how many have joined. People have shown very interest in the subject. Anyway, getting on to the session, this is third in that series. So first two series were well reviewed, and this on the precision machining on the mold, it's really good, something which will enrich all of us. See, mold makers are always under tremendous pressure, as we all know. And it is necessary for us to generate trusted NC programs that can run smoothly and produce accurate and reliable results. And of course, cycle time is always a factor which management will keep insisting. And CNC machines get fed continuously to minimize downtime, which we do all the time in the shop floor. And when we move too quickly and make a mistake, it will be disastrous. Expensive material may be lost, our operator may get injured, or the tool get broken, or the CNC machine itself can make it damaged. So challenges are many. So the point here is we should know what to use, the right tools to use, or the right programs, or the right methods, and follow them very meticulously. That is very the purpose of this session, and we have got the right person to tell us about that. And beyond that, what differentiates the companies is the manpower, the skilled manpower who absorb these and put it on the shop floor to utilize. The expertise held within our teams, that what makes it different within us. Tools and die shops are always going to be battling to become more efficient. That we all know that one. See, parts continue to become more complex and materials more diverse and techniques more specialized. Learning how to manage all these variables in a productive way will be a constant challenge for all of us. And the very purpose of these webinars is only to see that we provide the minimum inputs to all the participants, and further they can explore and be in touch with the speaker or with others and find answers for their questions. Intention is to see that Indian industry becomes the center of excellence, And we have got many challenges, and especially in the COVID-19, which has affected the industries. It's time for us to reinvent ourselves and go ahead and see that Atmanirbhar really brought into the usage. With that few words, I'll have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Ashoka. Ashoka, with a rich experience, he has spent 12 years in Fanuc, and before that he had 2 years in Bosch Rexroth and another 7 years with the ACE Manufacturing Systems. All put together, about 22 years in this field. You can imagine what a tremendous knowledge he has acquired, and he has been using it and imparting to others. He has been an expert there, and he has been in touch with various industries and mentoring them and guiding them and all that. And in fact, he has a rich knowledge or experience in machine tool basics and mechatronics, CNC controls, servo systems, selection and optimization, parts machining, die mold machining requirements. And he has hands-on, he has got a rich experience, leveling up of the machines, smart manufacturing with IoT and Industry 4.0. What more can we expect from a speaker at this juncture? And if he can absorb whatever he teaches or he interacts, he shares with us, definitely it will take us one notch above. I request participants to listen carefully, and whenever they have the doubts, note it down, and we can have a question and answer session at the end, and I'm sure most of them will be answered. And if required, something more is there also later, you can be in touch with the BCIC to help to seek those answers. I especially thank Shiv Ganesh, who has been instrumental behind all such activities and really helping the whole members to get educated on such subjects. I think with that, without wasting much time, I request Mr. Ashoka SN to take over and start the session.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ramesh sir, for the introduction. So I thank all the BCIC committee members to selecting me for this session, a very special session on the die mold requirements and the 360-degree approach, comprehensive approach. So I thank all the participants who is now attending this session, special session, and we will start this session. So let me share my screen. Rupa, can you see my screen?
It's clear, sir.
Okay. Okay. So once again, I welcome all the delegates to this workshop on high precision die mold machining with 360-degree comprehensive approach. I thank once again BCIC to giving me this opportunity to present on this special forum. And especially in this workshop, we are going to present on how the high precision die mold machining can be looked at with the comprehensive approach, and what all the factors which is going to affect the die mold machining or high precision machining or even aerospace machining, and also what all the solutions we have, not even looking at the controller side or the process side. So we should have a 360-degree comprehensive approach to have a very good surface finish and the profile accuracies which are required on the die mold machining. So agenda, basically agenda for the today is segments in die mold machining. I will be touching upon what all the segments we have and die mold machining, and then what all the challenges we have in high precision die mold machining. We'll be capturing some challenges and the factors affecting the die mold machining. So there are many factors which will affect the die mold machining. So we'll be explaining on what all the factors which will affect the die mold machining, and also the CNC for die mold machining. There are a lot of features which are available in the CNC controls which are required for this high precision machining. And also basically there is a lot of myth, like the more the look ahead block means there will be a very good surface finish, or it is good for die mold. So we will be talking on what is the impact of look ahead block and the block processing time of the CNC controller on the die machining, on the aerospace machining and other fine quality machinings, and other factors apart from the CNC and servo. So what all will affect the surface quality and the precision of die mold machining, and also how to evaluate the die mold machining. So that we'll be talking, and the summary on this 360-degree approach. So and then we have a case studies and learnings. We have captured around 12 case studies of real usage of the solutions for die mold machining, and also in the end we can have a question answer session. This is the agenda for today's session. So basically die mold machining, there are two types. One is high quality machining is the major requirement in die mold machining or any high precision machining. That is, smoothness in the machining surface is most required one in most of the cases of high precision machining or die mold machining, and 90% of the cases will lies with this requirement, and few cases where high quality as well as high accuracy is also required. So like both the smoothness on machining as well as the shape accuracy of the component, both are required in few cases. So if you take an example of bottle die mold, so this requires an high quality machining where smooth surface is is the requirement, and shape accuracy is not so important. Whereas coming to the lens mold, where the smoothness as well as the shape accuracy both are required. So whereas coming to the there are few molds where only the high speed is the requirement. So the three things in die machining, like high speed, high quality, and high accuracy, these are the three points in the triangle where high speed versus high quality is always a trade-off. Once again, high speed versus high accuracy is always a trade-off. That means when you are looking at a cycle time, then the quality or the high accuracy has to be compromised. And if you are looking for a quality or accuracy, then the cycle time will be more. So in this die mold machining, the high speed and the high quality and the accuracy are the trade-off. And we have captured some segments in die mold. So with high quality, there are many molds and dies like blow molds, bottles, auto spilers, auto pipes, and oil tanks. All are required high quality, that is the surface smoothness. And injection molds or plastic molds like car bumper, dashboards, air ventilators, and headlight reflectors. All these needs a very smooth surface quality. And coming to the high accuracy mold segments like forging dies, the dies for crankshaft, connecting rod, and any other automobile parts, and aerospace and defense parts where it needs a high accuracy, means precision is priority, and some electrode which are required to be with high precision dimensional accuracies, and medical dies, and also the pressure die casting dies where like cylinder heads, manifold, side covers, and gearbox covers, where your the core and the cavity matching is very important, and also the dimensional accuracies are very important. And coming to the high-speed molds, it's like pattern molding industries. It's like pumps and casting components, and then some sheet metal dies like car body, bonnet, and automobile floorings. See, these molds doesn't require any like surface quality as well as the accuracy requirement, but how much, how early we can remove the material and prepare the mold. That is means high speed is the priority in these molds, like even rubber molds, like shoe washers, O-rings, and hoses, etc. So this is the segment of the die mold industry where we have like high accuracy requirements, high quality requirements, and the high speed requirements. And there are a lot of challenges in die mold machining. So there are a lot of factors which affects the high precision machining. So where the program generated, the CNC feature, as well as the tool, the process parameters, machining conditions, even the coolant, spindle vibration. So there are many factors which affects the die mold machining, and CNC and servo features, what all those features, and how many look-ahead blocks or BPT are required. So everybody is having understanding that more look-ahead blocks, there will be very good surface quality or very good mold accuracy we can get. So we will be looking at what the look-ahead blocks and the BPD plays a role for the die mold machining. And there are so many ease of use functions which are required for die mold. So what all those features, and then how does the CAM software affects the the die machining, and how to evaluate the die mold machining. It is one of the major challenge, and many people uses like visual inspection for even for the surface quality, and measuring the overall profile accuracy for the die is another challenge. And there are so many challenges. So to arrive at a solution, we should have 360-degree comprehensive approach that which will be presented in the next slides. So as I said, any die machining, any high precision machining, there are a lot of factors which affects the the surface quality. So in that, in the left side, we have captured the factors like on the machine side, tooling side, and the machining conditions. Like coming to the machine side, spindle vibration is the most contributor, where we should have a very good spindle with well balanced and very minimum vibration values, and also some external equipments like the auxiliary motors, coolant motors, fan motors, and the air cooler compressors, and other hydraulic motors, which also contribute for surface quality issues. And also mechanical stiffness of the servo axis is one of the major contributor for this fine quality machining. And also installation condition of the whole machine itself, even the machine leveling itself can contribute to the bad surface quality. And coming to the cutting tools, we should have a very good cutting tools, and tool selection, like what is the tool length, and tool vibration, like the tool holder should be very good, which should have very less vibrations, and we should use some like idle grip tools where vibration will be minimum. And also we should look at L/D ratio, and we should keep the length very minimum possible for the particular component and the process. And coming to the machining condition, like spindle speed, feed rate, and the cutting depths, all will contribute. So we will see what all those factors in detail in the next slides. and even the coolant, which will be contributing to the overall surface quality of the die machining. So coming to the right side, the cutting program is another major contributor, where normally the die programs are generated using the CAM softwares. So there are two factors. One is tolerance and the pick feed. Pick feed is nothing but the step over, and also the command unit, what the program generated by the CAM software. So these are the three factors which affects the overall surface quality of the die machining. And coming to the CNC and servo, so once again CNC should have the features for smoother rack deck and correcting the tool path on the profile cutting, and also servo should have very good command follow up and the disturbance suppression. So these are the overall factors which affects the die mold machining or even the aerospace machining. So where all these factors should be looked into comprehensively, and we should give the solution for the whatever surface quality or the accuracy requirements in the high precision machining. So we will see these all factors one by one, and first we will see the CNC and servo, how it will affect, and what all these features available with the CNC and servo to meet the die mold high precision machining requirements. So the CNC for the die mold. So here CNC for the die mold, FANUC has got new CNC, latest technology CNC 0MF Plus, which has got all the features as standard, which is available for the die mold requirements. So this CNC is equipped with fast cycle time technology basically for parts machining, and fine surface technology. This is basically for the die mold machining. So in FANUC terminology, we'll be calling fine surface technology, meant for die mold, aerospace, and any other high precision machining. So, and then servo control, smart servo control, which supports these two parts machining as well as the fine surface machining technologies. And we have got a power failure quick program restart, which can be, the machine can be restarted from the interrupted block easily with easy 3 steps. And also there are a lot of features in the CNC where, which will ease out the operator for the die machining, like we have 2 megabyte part program memory in the CNC built in. And for die programs with larger memory capacity, we can use 32 GB CF card on the, and we can also edit these programs on the CNC itself, and easy transfer of programs from program transfer tool to CF card directly, it is possible. So these features will make, ease of use features will make the die mold user to make, use the machine easy. And coming to the fine surface technology, so whatever the features, we call it as fine surface technology, basically for the die mold machining requirement. So all the features have been bundled and given in the fine surface technology with FANUC. So what is the role of CNC in case of fine surface technology? So basically, in case of any high precision machining or die mold machining, the final workpiece shape will be input to the CAD model, and the CAD model will give the will be understood by the CAM software, and it will generate the toolpath, which will be fed on to the CNC, and CNC interpolates this toolpath and commands to the servo system, and the servo system converts these commands into the mechanical motion on the machine tool. So with the fine surface technology, we have high precision program command, where the programs, even with the 0.1 micrometer, like after a decimal point 4 digits program, it can be easily processed by the CNC, and we can get a very good surface finish with a very easy setting. So this will be explained in the next slides. And then smooth generation of toolpath. Basically, all the CNC controls will have a special features for this. And with Fanuc CNC, we have artificial intelligence contour control plus, which has got 200 blocks look ahead built in and 0.9 millisecond block processing time. So which will be, we'll be explaining on these features in the next slides. And also we have got a smooth tolerance plus control where even though the programs are with larger cam tolerance produced with the cam software, the toolpath can be smoothened using this special software, smooth tolerance plus control. And nano interpolation has been built in the CNC control by default. And for higher gains on servo control, we have latest servo technology, HRB plus technology, so which will makes the to set higher gains and improve the overall stiffness of the each axis where where it is used for the die mold machining. So the role of the CNC is making the toolpath smoother and getting the even high precise program with 4 digits, and also even if the cam tolerance the blocks are scattered, it can be smoothened using the smooth tolerance plus control. And servo control will enable to make the servo axis stiffer and to get the good surface finish. So I'll be taking you through the how that look at block and the block processing time. Next we will call it like a BLA and BPT in the next slides in the short, and I will try to explain how that BLA and BPT affects overall die mold machining and how to arrive at the maximum feed rates which are used at die mold machining using the BLA BPT of the controller.
Mr. Ashok,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At this juncture, do any participant have anything to ask? Probably they should, otherwise they may forget that if it is told to them.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
If they prefer, I'm not suggesting anything. If they prefer.
Yeah. Any questions?
Good afternoon. This is Prakash here. Good afternoon, Mr. Ramesh. Prakash here.
Good afternoon, Prakash.
I think just I joined. I'm joined a little late, but I have one question. Where then, as soon as I was seeing is the previous slide, I think he mentioned one interesting word called as nano interpolation. I think this is something which is very unique. If you can throw some light on that, it will be very interesting.
So basically, nano interpolation is whenever we command the part program, it will be in 1 micron. Okay. Whereas internally, when the CNC interpolates these programs, it calculates in 1 by 1000 time. Okay. So the internal interpolation accuracy is in nanomicrons. So that we call it as a nano interpolation. So even though you are commanding in 1 micron, the internal interpolation accuracy of each axis will be interpolated in in a nanometric level, like 1 by 1000 times of the micron. That we call it as a nano interpolation, which is now in the latest CNCs it is coming as standard.
Standard. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
That means to say the electronics and the controls also need to be accordingly designed.
Yes. It needs like high resolution encoders and also high resolution current control in the amplifiers, and also CNC should have a capability to process that feedback system and command.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Ashok, before you proceed, I understand Ms. Sonali Kulkarni, your president and CEO, had joined us, or I hope she must be there, still there. I really appreciate she being present with our session and encouraging the participants and the speaker. Really appreciate, Madam, your presence in the session. Yeah, please, Mr. Ashok, carry on.
So in the next slides, I'm going to explain on how the look-ahead block and the block processing time affects the die mold machining, and also how it affects the maximum feed rate that can be achieved on the die machinings. So basically, there is a myth that more the look-ahead blocks, we will get very good cycle time, or the surface finish, or the precision. So, but we are going to explain. So, as per our knowledge, the 200 block look ahead and the 0.9 millisecond BPT is enough for the whatever the major die mold machining requirement in the market. And also we will try to put some formulas and try to explain simply how the maximum feed rates can be achieved, and in turn, so what all the spindle speeds are required to achieve that the maximum speeds, and also how it will be related to the look-ahead blocks and the block processing time. So basically, before going to the look-ahead blocks and the block processing time, I will try to explain what is the block length. So normally the die programs are generated using the CAM softwares. So where if you have some curvature profile, when the CAM program is generating the points, tool path points, the two intersection points on the profile makes a block length where it depends on the tolerance what we apply during the program generation in the software. So basically the block length depends upon the what CAM tolerance we apply, and also the what is the minimum radius of the machining shape. So these two factors will directly impact the block length. So to simplify that, here we can see how to arrive at the relationship between the tolerance versus block length on a typical radius of machining profile. So here we can see the formula which is arrived. That is nothing but tolerance is equal to L square divided by 8R. So if you convert to block length, so it is nothing but square root of 8 RH. R is nothing but radius of the curvature, and H is nothing but the what tolerance will be applied on the CAM software. So smaller is the tolerance, the smaller will be the block length, and higher is the tolerance, and higher will be the block length. So any CAM software which is used in the actual case, which will give the block length typically with these values. So we have taken a radius of 10 mm typical radius, and if you apply the CAM tolerance of 1 micron, the block length will be typically around 0.283 mm. Whereas if we try to increase to 5 micron for the same radius, we can get around 0.632 mm block length. So if you go to 10 micron, then it will become like 0.894. So like that, if you try to increase in roughing programs and all, the CAM tolerance will be more, like 50 micron, then block length will become 2 mm. And even in some cases 0.1, the block length will become like 2.8 mm. So basically, this is to explain arrive at an relationship that the CAM tolerance plays a major role, where the block lengths will become finer and finer when we go towards finer CAM tolerances, and when we go towards the coarser CAM tolerances, the block length also will go to more coarser. So coming to the effect of block processing time, this can be applied to any controller. Okay, so the maximum feed rates which can be achieved in any of the die machining will be decided by the feed rate. Maximum feed rate achievable is directly proportional to the block length and inversely proportional to the block processing time of the controller. So so if you plot the maximum feed rate which can be achieved in y-axis versus the block length in the x-axis, here we can see for the 0.1 mm block length, the feed rate which can be achieved around 6.6 meters. So if you increase the block length, like if the cam tolerance is more, the feed rate achieve can be more, and also the typical BPT of 0.9 millisecond, we can achieve around 6.6 meters. Whereas if you go to an BPT of 0.43 milliseconds, the feed rate can become like double what we get with 0.9 milliseconds. And also coming to the BLA, that is look-ahead blocks. So this is the formula where maximum feed rate which can be achieved is nothing but square root of the A and L. A is nothing but the acceleration value which we will be setting in the controllers. So what is the acceleration values? And L is nothing but the deceleration distance, which is the product of number of look-ahead blocks and the block length. So if you plot the maximum feed rate which can be achieved in y-axis and the block length in the x-axis with 0.1 mm block length, with 200 block itself, we can achieve around 7.5 meters of cutting feed rates. So in the actual case, the cutting feed rates lies within 5,000 mm per minute in the finish operations. So some sample components we have taken for the easy easy explanation, where this is one of the sample sphere profile where cam tolerance used was around 10 microns and stepor was around 60 microns, where if we analyze the blocks which have been generated in the program, all are lying between 0.2 to 0.25. So, and the feed rate to cut this component was used around 1800, which is lying well within the 200 block and 0.9 BPT look-ahead blocks and look-ahead blocks. And also, if you even go to the feed rates more like feed rates of 4000, where there is a slope profile, where block length of the program is around 0.1 to 0.15, also lies within the 200 block look ahead. So that's how we are telling that even the 200 block look ahead is enough for the most of the die components, where spindle speeds are lower, like maybe less than 12,000 RPM. So this is to just relate how the maximum feed rate can be achieved using the typical block length. So with 0.1 block length, feed rate can be achieved around 6.6 meters. As the block length increases, the maximum feed rate achievable also increases. So with 1 mm, we can achieve around 66 meters. And in case of look-ahead blocks, there are two settings. One is finish setting. Normally in the controller, we'll be setting what is the acceleration, deceleration values for finish operation and for the roughing operation. So normally it is recommended to set around 400 mm per second square. So with that acceleration values with 200 blocks, we can achieve around 7.5 meters with 0.1 mm block length. And if we increase the block length towards like roughing operation, semi-finish or roughing operation, we can achieve around 24 meters with finish cut, and with rough setting, we can go up to 63 meters. So in practical case, as I explained, the block length lies within more than the 0.1 mm for finish programs, and for semi-finish and roughing programs, it can go up to 0.5 up to 1 mm and more than 1 mm. So basically, the 200 blocks look ahead and the 0.9 millisecond or 1 millisecond block processing time is enough for most of the die mold machinings. So just to we have done one reality check. So where we have cut two sample work pieces. One is various profile with different look-ahead blocks. One is with 200, another test with 400, and even with 1200. So here we can see that if you take the surface finish, in all the three cases, the surface finish is almost same. It's like 0.5 RA, whereas cycle time there is a slight variation. Okay. Whereas coming to the another profile, which is a globe profile, so here we can see that RA value is almost same in all the three cases, and cycle time there is no difference. So we could achieve the same cycle time. So overall, if the feed rates and the block lengths, feed rates are lesser and block length is more than 0.1 mm, so the any look ahead block is not going to help. So that is the reality. And coming to the other CNC features, so let me just explain what all the features we have for die mold. So one of the feature is high precision program command, where the program can be generated from the CAM software with 0.1 micron instead of 1 micron, which makes the path error very smaller compared to the 1 micron program, where the path error will be larger. So because the command, the CAM software generates the points depending upon the 1 micron steps. So here we can see that with 1 micron program there is a small machining line marks which can be eliminated using this 0.1 micron easily. And coming to the another feature, smooth tolerance plus control. This is basically the normally in the die mold end users are using the CAM tolerance of around 10 micrometer. So and also sometimes larger CAM tolerance values. So whenever you use larger CAM tolerance values, the points generated from the CAM software will be the block length will be more, and also the the path will be scattered. So because of that, we could get some polyhedron marks on the machined surface. These polyhedron marks can be easily eliminated applying the smooth tolerance plus control, where CNC will smoothen the overall tool path, and we can get a very good surface finish. So smooth tolerance plus control is basically to smoothen the machined surface by applying the STC plus control internally. Even the CAM tolerance is more in the while generating the CAM program. And then there is an easy setting. They basically for the ease of use. So there are three easy settings, like depending upon the process of the die machining, like roughing, semi-finish, and finish. The three different set of parameters will be automatically available in the machine, where the operator can simply select the operation like roughing, semi-finish, and finish. The parameters are automatically selected, and you can get, in case of roughing, you will get the cycle time. In case of finishing, you will get the very good surface finish. So as I said, once again, high speed and high precision or high quality is trade-off. So here normally the parameters in the machines will be set to the middle level. So where when you want like high precision, high accuracy, then you can go towards the left side, where your vibration levels will be decreased, but cycle time will be increased. Whereas if you are looking for cycle time, then you can go towards right side, where your cycle time will be lesser, but vibrations will increase, and you have to compromise on the surface quality of the finished product. And coming to the another CNC, that is a servo feature, where latest servo motors with high resolution encoders and the higher smoothness in rotational in case of servo motor design, and also high resolution current detection in the servo amplifiers, we could able to get higher velocity gains and improve the mechanical stiffness of the axis. And here we can see, by applying the HRV plus control, that is the high resolution vector control, which is default available in the latest drives and motors. we can get a very good surface quality with HRV3 plus on, versus we can see there is some cutting line marks on HRV3 plus. And one more feature, as we know, in India there is a lot of power failure issues. So, and die programs runs for hours together, days together. So this is one of the feature which all the end users have been requested for easy restart of the die programs. So we have got a power failure quick program restart function, wherein with the 3 easy steps we can restart the program from the middle where it was left out, and operator can easily restart from that interrupted point. And coming to the program memory, so we have got 2 megabyte inbuilt memory in the CNC, which can be used for smaller die programs. And for the larger die programs, we can use the additional CF card, which can have a program size up to 32 GB. And we recommend to use a compact flash card, which will sit inside the slot of the CNC in the front side PCMC slot, and we can close the lid, and it will be very safe for the direct running of the programs from the CF card. Whereas the standard CF card, which will be always projected outside with the PC card adapter, can be used for normally program input, output, and backup operations. Then program management has become easy, because this is one of the requirement for the die mold machining. So where the larger program should be easily transferred to the memory card. With our program transfer tool, we can easily transfer the programs to the memory card, and also we can onboard. We can edit the programs and run the programs directly from CF card. And also from USB stick, you can copy the programs to CF card and they can run. And there is a challenge where the different machines, different machine manufacturer have some different codes for enabling this die mold operation, like roughing, semi-finish, and finish program. So where we are unifying this program code and making it simple one-line command for the die mold users. So where G5.1 Q1 R1 will be selecting roughing program, R5 will be selecting semi-finished program, and R10 will be selecting the finished program. Where internally all those like smooth tolerance plus control and ASC on, and the whatever tolerance parameters, all those things are taken care with the single program command itself. So this will be applied in all the machines now recently, which will be coming from the machine tool builders. So that's about the factors which is affecting the like die mold machining and CNC and servo features. So you have any questions, we can discuss on the features of CNC and servo, and also the if you have any doubts on lookout block and block processing time. So next slide onwards, I'll be talking on the other factors apart from CNC and servo which affects the die mold machining. So any questions? Ramesh sir? Hello?
You're telling is right.
Shall we move forward?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I think there is a question from the audience.
Yeah.
So Yogesh, I think, has asked a question on, he wants some clarification on show, he said slide number 21.
21.
You can go ahead, Mr. Yogesh.
Yeah.
What's your question? You can go ahead. You can unmute and go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes, Yogesh.
Sir, yeah, these RA values are already.
Hello.
These RA values
Yeah,
are
go ahead, Yogesh.
on the component, right?
Yes. These RA values are like average RA value which has been taken at different places on the component profiles.
Okay.
So if you see the RA values, even you have 200, 400 or 1200, so there is no difference in the RA value, okay? But there is a slight difference in the cycle time. But if you see the bottom profile, where even the RA value and the cycle time is same. So basically, the look ahead block will not affect on the quality of the die machining. Okay. So, but if you are higher feed rates or higher spindle speeds, there we may get some cycle time difference. But it is very negligible. That is what we are highlighting here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yeah, go ahead, Shokat.
Yes, sir. So till now we have seen the effect of CNC and servo and features from the CNC controller side for supporting the die and mold machining. Now in this slide onwards, I'll be talking more on to the machine side and the other factors apart from the CNC and servo. So, so as I said, there are many factors. So we will look at the factors from the machine side, which will affect the die mold machining. Basically, the spindle vibration and the mechanical stiffness of the axis and the installation condition of the machine, which affects the surface quality of die machining. And here we can see that we should have a very good spindle where the vibration will be very less with well balanced spindle unit. So and also we should avoid the external equipment's vibration onto the machine. That is even the fan motor which is mounted onto the spindle motor can generate some resonance and affects the overall surface quality. And also we should see that other accessory motors like even hydraulic motor, coolant motors are isolated, or they don't have any resonance with the other rotating parts in the machine, which may affect the overall surface quality. So we should have a very good well balanced spindle, and also we should not have any external vibration from any other accessory motors. So here we can see that there is a patchy marks on the machining direction where with reduced spindle vibration we can get the very good surface finish. And also another factor is the mechanical stiffness of the servo axis. So whatever the higher gains we set, so the servo axis should have very good command follow up and also disturbance suppression at the machining point, at the cutting point onto the tool tip. So which will enable us to get the very good surface finish. So we recommend to have a spindle vibration a very minimum value possible, but the industry is following the standard of less than 1 mm per second for maximum RPM up to 10,000 or 12,000 RPM. But minimum is the value, and we can get the best results. And the second factor is the cutting tool from the machine side. So basically the tool vibration is one of the major contributor for this die mold machining, where we should have a very good tool holder like hydro grips will give very good the vibration levels will be minimum, and also the tool length should be very minimum. So we should keep that L/D ratio, or we should use a very minimum length tool which is required for the particular component and profile. So which will enable us to get a very minimum vibration and improve the overall surface quality. Here we can see with an example of tool vibration which has got around 20 micron. When we machine a profile and when we see with the 3D laser scope, we can see that the machined surface is not good and it has got many high points. Okay, so whereas when we reduce the tool vibration to very minimum value around 3 micron, so we can see that very good surface finish with minimum high points. So we recommend to keep the tool vibration less than 5 microns. So any if you are looking at good surface quality and surface finish on the die components, we should have run out of the tools less than 5 micron. But in practical condition, it is very difficult if you use some collet holders and other things. So we recommend to use the IDOgrip tools for the finish cut on the die mold machining. Then coming to the machining condition, where this is one of the main factor which affects the overall surface quality of die mold machining. So in machining condition, basically spindle speed and the feed rate and the number of blades on the tool, which will decides overall the machining condition and the surface quality. So the feed per blade, which has to be kept within the recommended value of the tool manufacturer. Otherwise, it is impossible to get the surface quality in the finish machining of high precision machining. So the feed per blade is equal to feed rate, which we command, divided by spindle speed into number of blades. So here we can see the tool manufacturer recommendation. So the feed per blade has to be kept within 0.059, where the feed rate we have to use around 1400, and the spindle speed should be around 11,900. So if you try to increase the spindle feed rate, let us say 1400 to 4200, and feet per blade we have to keep it like 0.07. So where we have to increase the spindle speed up to 30,000 RPM. So the machine should have this high speed spindle capability to increase the feed rates in the die machining for aluminum components. This is for the two blades tool. So where if the machine has got around the maximum speed of only 8,000 RPM, then we have to restrict our feed rate. Like maximum we can go up to 1000 mm per minute, where we have to keep the feet per blade within the recommendation of the tool manufacturer. So in the right side, if you go for a steel component, so wherein the feed rates will drop further down. So you can see here the spindle speeds of 6300, we can go up to only 445 mm per minute feed rate. Because it's an high hardened steel with HRC 40 and all, so we cannot increase the feed rate as it is. So even with 1000 feed rate, we can have a spindle speed of 16,000 RPM to keep the feed per blade within the recommended value of 0.032. So if you are not keeping the feed per blade within the manufacturer limit, then we are not able to get the surface finish. So in one of the use case as an example, here we can see in the slope component where the CNC has got 200 blocks look ahead and it can reach up to 6,000 mm per minute feed rate, and the spindle speed available in the machine is around 8,000 RPM, and the cutting feed rate is around 1000, and the feed per blade is around 0.063 with two blades. So if I want to increase the feed rate from 1000 to 4000, then I have to proportionally increase the spindle speed. So I should have a spindle speed of 32,000 RPM in the machine to increase the feed rate. So, and also in the second case, in one of the yield component, even though CNC controller has got the possibility to increase up to 6,000. So if I want to increase from 2000 mm per minute to 4000 mm per minute with the 4 blades, so I should increase the spindle speed to up to 12,000 RPM. So once again, spindle speed in the machine will become a constraint to increase the feed rates. So even though CNC has got a like a capability to go up to 6,000 mm per minute feed rate for the die machining. So to get a very good surface finish, the machining condition and the feed per blade has to be kept as recommended. So coming to the conclusion that how BLA, BPT and machining conditions are linked together. So as I explained, generally in most of the die mold finish programs, the block length, that is the point-to-point distance, will be normally more than 0.1 mm, where BPT plays a major role, even of than the look-ahead blocks, where BPT will become the like significance to achieve the maximum feed rates whenever we have a very small segment blocks in the die mold finish programs, and the 0.1 mm block length can achieve 6.6 meters cutting feed rate, as I explained in finish cutting, whereas 1 mm block length can achieve around 66 meters. You can do a rough cutting or semi-finish cutting. And look at blocks of 200 is enough for all types of die molds with a BPT of 0.9 millisecond. And whenever there is a spindle speeds up to 12,000 RPM. And more look at blocks will help only when the spindle speeds are like higher, like even 20,000, 30,000 or 40,000 RPM in the machine. So to increase the cutting feed rate, so we cannot increase simply the cutting feed rates, proportionally we should increase the spindle speed to keep the feed per blade as per the tool manufacturer. So overall, the spindle speed will become a constraint in the machine. So if the machine is equipped with high speed spindles like more than 20,000, 30,000 RPMs, then only we can use higher cutting feed rates, and more than 200 look-ahead blocks can help. And coming to the another major factor which affects the die mold machining. In case of die machining, as all we know that the programs are generated with the CAM software. So whatever the shape required has been input to CAD software, which will output the CAD data in IGA step or DXF to the CAM software. And in the CAM software, the program generation will be done using 2 parameters, that is tolerance and pick feed. So these 2 parameters will affect the overall surface quality again. So the CAM software outputs the tool path with in terms of G codes, which will be fed into the CNC, and CNC interpolates this command and cut the profile. So it is recommended to generate the program, CAM program, using a CAM tolerance of 1 micron to 10 micron to have, if you are looking at very good surface finish and the profile accuracies. So basically, when we recommend to use the CAM tolerance values with 1 micron to 10 micron and apply the smooth tolerance plus to get a very good surface finish. So the industry standard is normally they are using around 10 micron. So in those cases, the CNC will take care of smoothing the path using STC plus command and all. So coming to the pick feed, so it is nothing but a step over. It is distance between the two tool paths in the die cutting. So wherein the cusp height, that is nothing but your theoretical RZ value, surface finish, surface roughness value. So where cusp height H is given in the formula, which depends upon the radius of the tool and the whatever step over will be keeping. So larger is the step over, the cusp height will be more. So here we can see that with the peak feed of around 80 micron, which will have a cusp height of around 0.4 micrometer, wherein if you reduce the peak feed to 50%, the cusp height is reduced almost like 4 times. So which is nothing but your critical RE or RZ value. So it is recommended to have a optimum cusp height, optimum peak feed or step over, depending upon the whatever surface quality or surface roughness and the cycle time what in a die machining. So it is recommended to have a cam tolerance of 1 micron to 10 micron when you are generating the program, if you are looking for a better surface quality and profile accuracies. And then peak feed has to be chosen optimum. Like if you are looking at cycle time, you can go with the more peak feed. And if you are looking for a surface quality and precision, then you can go with a finer peak feed or step over. So coming to the CAM software, once again machining program which will be generated with different CAMs. So here we are trying to explain that CAM tolerance, what terminology used in different CAM softwares will be different, and so also the whatever tolerances we set in CNC has to match the CAM tolerance which is applied in the program generation. So typically, if you see master CAM, they call it as a cut tolerance. Okay, so where it is both sides of like a model shape and the whatever program is generated. Okay, so it is recommended to apply the STC plus value as same as cut tolerance in case of master CAM. And in case of NX, they call it as an out tolerance and in tolerance. There will be two different settings. So normally it is recommended to set the larger value what is set in the CAM software. So in the STC plus setting of the CNC. In case of hypermill, they will call it as an machining tolerance. So we have to set same value as machining tolerance in the CNC controller. And also in case of power mill, they call it as a tolerance. And it is we have to set half of the value of the tolerance which is set in the CAM software. Basically, we are trying to explain that the whatever program tolerance which has been kept in the CAM software has to match the setting which is there in the CNC controller to eliminate all those factors affecting the surface quality. So whatever the tolerance value set in the CNC has to match with the whatever tolerance are set in program generation during in the CAM software. So any questions regarding the other factors which affects the die mold machining?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no. Any participants have got any questions? Or do you suggest that we take the questions at the end, Ashok?
Yeah. So I will just go through the how to evaluate the die mold machining. So then maybe in the end we can take the questions. So evaluation of die mold machining is another big challenge because there are many factors how to evaluate the overall die mold machining, whether the machine is capable of doing all those end requirements. So the many customers were using different profiles. So where to evaluate the machines and the die mold capability. So we have worked with Fanuc Japan, and we have given the inputs that the component which should have all the critical profiles, and once we do this component and evaluate the machine that should meet all those requirements of the die mold machining. So Fanuc Japan has came up with the 1 hour evaluation workpiece, which has been having all the shapes like spherical, flat, and the concave, convex. So and this different profiles includes in one component, and it can be cut within 1 hour and evaluate the overall machine capability. So earlier the customers were using different profiles like like a spear profile or a heel profile or all profile components, and all these profiles are replaced with a single component, which is an 1 hour evaluation workpiece component, wherein which can be cut on the machine, and we can evaluate overall machine capability for the die mold machining or high precision machining. So there are 7 evaluation points. So where you can see here how to how that each factor contributes for the surface quality. So on the flat surface, we can see that the machine or the tool or the machining condition which affects the surface quality on the flat surface. And coming to the polyhedrons in spherical surface, majorly the program which will contribute for this surface quality issue. We have to see whether cam tolerance is more, we have to reduce the cam tolerance, or apply the smooth tolerance plus control to overcome this surface finish issue. And coming to the cutting lines in the round trip. So this is basically once again the program. We have to see whether program generation is the problem or apply the STC plus. And coming to the stripes at the corner. So this is the contribution from the CNC controller. So we have to fine tune the acceleration, deceleration values which have been set in the CNC. And reversal line mark on the reversing point. So this is a major contributor is from servo side. We have to fine tune the parameters for adjusting the backlash values. And also sometimes this affects the, this can also affect by the machine overall response. And coming to the round edge, this is basically the contribution from CNC and servo. And so like this, we can evaluate all the points which are the major factors for surface quality issue, and we can eliminate all those points and fine tune the machine and despite the machines with full capability of die mold machining. So all these whatever 7 points have been listed, like flat surface machine or tool or machining condition is the issue. For the polyhedrons on surface, spherical surface part program we have to see, and we can eliminate the part polyhedrons by reducing the cam tolerance value or applying the STC plus. And then cutting lines on the round trip, basically because of the program and CNC. And stripes at the corner, basically because of the CNC, we have to fine tune the A contour control parameters. And lines in the reversal point because of the backlash improper tuning or because of the overall axis response. And rounding edge once again because of the CNC or servo fine tuning. So like this, all the factors can be eliminated, and we can set these values optimally and make the machine capable for the overall high quality machining or high precision machining, and then it can be dispatched and evaluated. So this evaluation workpiece has been cut on different machine tool builders machine with 10 micron cam tolerance, which will take only just 1 hour time so on the machine. So this is at 3 different companies. We can see that very good surface quality, and also we can see that there is a very small change in the cycle time value because of the machine dynamics and the rapid rates different in the machine to machine. So this has become very easy for evaluating the overall die mold capability in the machine, which is an major challenge earlier. So that's about how to evaluate the overall die mold performance on the machines. And now I'll be
Ashok, if you don't mind, can you go back to the last slide, please? No, you said so the difference between the the three companies is quite glaring. But can you tell us what is the difference is because of what? The software or the machine capability limitations, or what exactly?
Sir, basically the difference is majorly because of the even the material quality. Okay, so we have asked for P21 material. Maybe the material quality is different between the company and company. Okay, and also we can see some small reversal line mark that depends upon the overall machine response. Okay. And overall, if you see the finish is almost this has been cut once we evaluate everything like circularity of the machine and the laser calibration of the machine, and we reduce all the circularity values to best like in a single digits, and then ensuring the all coolant concentration as well as vibrations of. So after verifying everything, and we have got the components. So, but depending upon the machine response difference or vibrations difference, there will be a surface quality difference from the machine to machine.
What I understand is you have arrested all other parameters.
Yes.
The contribution is because of the particular machines used.
Yes,
their limitations, vibrations, or the spindle position, or the design of the very machine, etc. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Yes, sir. So basically, the whatever the component this thing is there, surface quality you are seeing will be contributed from the what is the hardness of the component and also the coolant concentration used and the vibration levels on that machine. These are the major contributors for having different component quality, surface quality. But if you check the array values, all will be having almost the same array values, around 0.5 to 0.6 RA.
Yeah. Yeah, please continue, please.
Yeah. So actually, we had many experience from the field, and we have captured some 12 case studies, and we can call it like learnings in high precision machining or die mold machining. So we have also segregated like what is the factor which which has contributed to for these issues, and how we have overcome these issues on the field. So that has been captured in these die mold case studies, which will be very useful for the participants also as a ready reckoner. And these case studies have been once again grouped like the impact is from CNC, servo, or cutting program, or from the machine side, cutting tool side, or the machining condition side. So all these case studies have been grouped to these factors, so that we can get the how this 360-degree approach has been applied in the field, and we come out of the issues on die machining. So this is one of the learning which is an impact of like cutting tool and the machining condition. So on one of the BT40 machine with 0 MF control, which has got AACC2 with 200 block look ahead and STC plus in the CNC. And component is like a plastic injection molding die. So where we observed that there was a chatter mark on the wall of the component. So we have verified the tool runout. The runout was more. So we have asked the customer to reduce the tool runout, and he is able to bring the runout up to 20 micron. And second issue was the verified the machining condition where customer was using the feet per blade of around 0.22 mm per tooth, wherein the tool recommendation value was around 1.8. So for this 4 blades, so when we corrected this feet per blade to 0.17, so by increasing the spindle speed to 3,300 RPM from 2,200 RPM, so where we have got a very good surface finish, we can see in the right side. So here the conclusion is the surface quality has been improved by correcting the tool runout. That is one of the factor, and second one is the applying the recommended feet per blade. So which has been we could able to get a very good surface quality in the die machining. And another learning, that is a learning 2. This is basically the impact of cutting program and as well as the machining condition here. So this is one of the BT40 VMC machine with 0 MF control from Fanuc, and then which has got AACC2 plus with 200 blocks look ahead, and also STC plus for smoothing the tool path. And component, once again, it is a plastic injection molding die. So here actually tool runout was almost within the 10 to 12 micron. And once again here the machining condition we have verified, and the recommended feet per blade was for the particular tool was 0.16, but customer was using 0.236. And also the cam program, the cam tolerance was around 70 micron, which is huge. So where we have asked customer to reduce the cam tolerance to get the good surface finish, and customer has reduced the cam tolerance value to 20 micron. So with this 2 changes, that is the cam tolerance value reducing from 70 micron to 20 micron, and the feet per blade applying as per the recommendation. So we could able to see the finish improve. Like here we can see there is a chatter mark on the surface of the component, which has been improved, and we got a very good surface finish afterwards. So the conclusion is the surface quality on the die has been improved by applying the recommended feet per blade, and also reducing the program cam tolerance value. And next learning is basically the impact of cutting tool and the machining condition. So here once again it's an VMC with BT40. So the controller is 0 MF, which has got AACC 2 plus and 200 block look ahead and STC plus feature. And it is once again a plastic injection molding die. So here there were 2 issues. One is component size variation, and there was a chatter mark in the wall of the component. So here we observed that, and also there was a vibration in the axis while machining this helical hole. So we have applied the STC plus, that is a smooth tolerance plus control, where we could able to eliminate the vibration on the axis movements, and majorly the cutter diameter which customer was using was different. So actually in the program where he has generated using the 10 mm as an diameter, but actual cutter diameter was 0.9 mm. So this was causing the overall dimension issue, and also initially the tool runout was around 80 micron, which the customer has reduced to 9 micron. With that, by applying STC plus and also reducing the tool runout, we could able to get a good surface finish, and also the dimension inaccuracy is mainly because of the wrong usage of the tool diameter. So the conclusion is here the component size variation is majorly because of the wrong tool diameter used, and the chatter mark and the vibration in the axis has been eliminated using the STC plus, and also reducing the tool runout. So next learning is the impact of cutting program. So basically here it's an VMC machine with BT40. So once again FANUC controller 0MF, and then features used was AACC 2+ and 200 blocks look ahead. So this is an press die for an automobile. So there was an excess material observed in the finish operation in the component, where we have analyzed the part programs, and we found that customer was using two different part programs for finishing the component, where there was an in the simulation we could see that the left out material, so which we have suggested customer to modify the program, and by modifying this program we could see that the whatever left out material has been taken out in the finish operation, and surface finish was good. So basically this is the impact of on the cutting program. So where customer has modified, and you could get the final finish on the die. So next learning is once again impact of cutting program as well as CNC. So here it's an VMC with BT50 machine and 0MF control from FANUC, and AACC 2+, 200 blocks look ahead, and STC plus. So all these features are available. Means machine is meant for die mold machining, and once again the die is for plastic injection molding. So here actually it is a very critical component where the end customer want to match the hill and valley profile. So the accuracy requirement was very stringent. So we have the customer programmed the program generated with 10 micron, because the accuracy required is very high. We have asked him to generate the program with 1 micron cam tolerance, so that the profile accuracy requirements can be met. And also we have set the AI contour control parameters in the CNC to very fine values, where we can get very good profile accuracy. And also one more action was taken, like we have changed the machining direction from top to bottom to the horizontal movement, where the backlash values will get eliminated. So by doing all these things, we could able to match the hill and valley. So where customer was very happy. So the conclusion is because the profile accuracy requirement is very finer for matching this hill and valley, we have applied the 1 micron cam tolerance in the program generation, and also we have set the CNC parameters to very fine values to get this profile accuracy. So next learning is impact of once again cutting program. So BT40 VMC machine with 0MF control, AACC 2+ and 200 blocks look ahead was available in the machine. And this is once again the die for plastic injection molding, basically for the electrical switches. So here once again customer was having a chatter mark on the surface. So the finish was not good, and we have analyzed the program, and here we can see that customer was using a cam tolerance value of 250 micron. So where obviously the points generated will be like too scattered, and so we have asked the customer to use a cam tolerance of 10 micron. So where the customer generated the program with 10 micron and keeping the same step over, and we could see that good improvement in the surface finish. So conclusion here is we could able to get good surface quality by applying the smaller cam tolerance. So next learning is once again the impact of cutting program as well as the CNC. So here once again VMC machine with BT40 spindle, 0MF controller from Fanuc, and ASSC 2 plus 200 block lookup and STC plus function was used. And this is an die for auto component. So here there was a finish chatter mark observed on the wall of the component. So where customer was using around 100 micron cam tolerance. So which we have suggested to use a 10 micron cam tolerance, and also we have applied our smooth tolerance plus control for avoiding the chatter mark on the finish component. So we can see that the finish has been improved very well on the final component. So the conclusion here is after changing the cam tolerance to 10 micron from 100 micron, the chatter marks are eliminated on the component, and we could observe the good surface finish. So next learning is on once again the impact of cutting program. So here the component is automobile forging and die. So it is an VMC with HSK100 spindle and Fanuc 31IA control with ASSC 2 and 200 blocks. So customer was facing an chattering issue on the finish surface. So here we found that customer was using a software where the cam tolerance was 5 micron and cusp height was 3 micron. Here instead of like step over, the cusp height itself is given as an input for the cam program generation. So we have suggested because the customer was looking at a very good surface finish. So we have asked customer to use smaller cam tolerance and the cusp height. So customer has applied 1 micron cam tolerance and cusp height with 1 micron, where we could observe that the chatter mark has been eliminated, and we could able to see the good surface finish on the component. So basically the conclusion is the surface finish has been improved with the cam tolerance of 1 micron and cusp height of 1 micron. So and also we could there was no much difference in the cycle time. Next learning is once again impact of CNC. So it is on a VMC machine with BT50 spindle, 0MF control, and with all the die mold functions. And it is once again die for plastic injection molding machine. So here customer was observing some polyhedron marks in the machining finish component. So where we have applied the STC plus, and we could able to observe that the chatter marks or the polyhedron marks have been eliminated on the finish component. So this as an sample piece has been cut, and this is the final bigger die component which was machined. So basically here also the polyhedron marks have been removed using the STC plus function applied on the CNC controller.
Ashok, what is the STC plus, if you don't mind?
So smooth tolerance plus control, sir.
Yeah, please.
Smooth tolerance plus control. So even though the program line marks are like scattered, the CNC will smoothen those line mark tool path, and will have a very good smoother surface on the finish on the component. It is an CNC controller feature, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Ashok.
So next learning, once again, the impact of CNC. It is an VMC with BT40 with FANUC control with all the die mold functions. Basically here customer was doing a tile mold. The finish was not good. So here we can see that whatever the pattern customer was expecting was not coming. So then we have visited customer, and customer was not knowing the what is the command has to be used for enabling the die mold capability in the machine itself. So we have educated the customer and enabled this special command for die mold machining. So with that we could able to get the good surface finish. So sometimes the customer was not even knowing what is the codes for enabling the die mold function in the CNC controller itself. So next learning is that one of the another end user with VMC with HSK 100. The controller is 31IB controller with AACC 2 and 200 block look ahead. So this is once again automobile forging die. So where once again we observed that there is a chatter mark on the finish component. So here also customer was not knowing the what is the die mold command for enabling in the machine. So we have enabled the AA control 2 with the finish level of R10. So which automatically eliminated those chatter mark in the component, and customer is able to get a very good surface finish. So once again the conclusion is good surface finish has been observed when we apply the AACC command in finish cutting. And the last case study here once again the impact is from the CNC. So once again the machine is a VMC with BT40. This is with latest 0MF plus controller with all the die mold functions available, and it is an plastic injection molding component, die component. So where the finish as well as the cycle time was not okay for the end user. So we have visited and we have set the BT40 fine parameters for the in the controller, and we have also enabled the machining condition, like for roughing we have enabled roughing pattern and semi-finish and finish patterns. So and then we could also get a good surface finish. So in the finish cut the chatter marks are eliminated, and also the cycle time, it was almost like 14% larger than the cam time, which we could able to reduce to half of the value, like against cam value it is around 7% more. So customer was very happy with this. So the conclusion is we could able to observe good surface finish by enabling the AACC parameters in the machine for BT40 spindle, and also we could able to reduce the cycle time versus cam time drastically by applying the roughing, semi-finish and finish patterns according to the operation selected for the die operation. So those are all the case studies how we could see in 360-degree angle and comprehensively and resolve the issues of die machining and high precision machining. So coming to the end of the presentation, the summary on how to see the die machining in 360-degree in all angles. And below is the summary. So basically we have to choose a CNC controller which has got all the features for high precision machining. So even aerospace die mold machining or any type of high precision machining. So our 0MF plus has got all these features as standard, and it is equipped with die mold capability. And as per the whatever presentation it is done, so 200 blocks look ahead and 0.9 millisecond block processing time is sufficient for all types of die mold components, where spindle speed is up to 12,000 RPM. And if the spindle speeds are more than 12,000 RPM, then maybe more than 200 blocks, like around 400 blocks look ahead, may help for getting the cycle time benefits. Then HRV 3 plus for high response axis settings, and to set higher gains and improve the overall stiffness of the axis, and in turn to get very good surface finish on high precision cutting. Then a smooth tolerance plus control, once again to smoothen the toolpath even if you are using a larger cam tolerance programs. So this has been available as standard. And also the CNC should have ease of use for selecting the machining conditions like rough, semi-finish and finish to optimize the cycle time. Like in roughing, we can go with high speed, and in finish, we can go with the surface or accuracy as the priority. Then quick program restart is very useful when you want to restart the programs from the interrupted area with very easy steps within 3 steps. And not only the CNC and servo, but we have to look at the other factors which is affecting more on the fine surface machining, that is die machining. So basically spindle is the major contributor. So we have to have a very less vibration on the spindle on the cutting point. So the industry is following like less than 1 mm per second, but if we try to keep the very minimum best possible in the machine, that will give a very good surface finish. And mechanical stiffness and the installation condition of the machine should be good. So the stiffness of the servo axis, and even the installation condition where the machine is kept, and even the machine leveling is going to affect the overall surface quality in high precision machining. So we have to take care of this in the machine. And then proper usage of tools, that is tool length. So we should maintain L/D ratio, and if possible we should have very minimum length for a particular component and the profile what we are cutting. And the tool holders should be very good, like hydro grip or similar tools we have to have basically to eliminate the vibration from the tools and the tool holders. And we should aim to have the tool run out of less than 5 micron, which is very much required for having a very good surface finish in the high precision cutting. Then cam setting is a major contributor, so which we have to look into. So we should have a program cam tolerance minimum value possible. So we recommend to use 1 micron to 10 micron cam tolerance wherever if you are looking for a good surface quality or profile accuracy. And also pick feed or the step over should be minimum possible, but this will increase the cycle time. So it is once again trade-off. So if you are looking at a very good surface finish and the profile accuracy, we should go for a minimum value. And if you are looking for a high speed, then we can go with the larger pick feed or step over. Then machining condition is another major factor which affect the die machining, like spindle speed, cutting feed rate. And also we should maintain the recommended feet per blade, what we have explained in the presentation. So it has to be as per the tool manufacturer recommendation. Otherwise, getting the good surface finish is very difficult. So we should always keep the machining conditions as per the tool recommendation, and to get the better surface quality in the finish cutting. And also coolant is another contributor where we should have a concentration level of 7 to 9 which also will affect the overall surface quality in the die machining. So these are all the factors which affects the high precision machining, die mold machining, and aerospace machining, and these are the 360-degree approach we can have, and we to get the good surface finish and good profile accuracies on the high precision machining. So that is what my presentation. So we can have a question answer session now.
Prakash seems to be having wants to say something.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Mr. Ashok, for enlightening on this kind of a new, what I would say, technology which is there right now with Fanuc.
Yes, sir.
I think it's an eye opener for all of us, and I'm very sure the participants who are there, I think they are from similar industry, and they would be listening to this. I have two questions specifically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think two, a little bit technical, I would say.
Yes, sir.
While you are mentioning on various 360-degree, factors,
Yes, sir.
so I think one factor which was not touched upon is on the material side. That means, can we achieve the surface finish irrespective of the material type which you are looking at? Of course, the die machining usually use a very hard materials, I know, but
Yes.
it doesn't matter what level it is. This is one question. Second question is, I think you interestingly mentioned about machine stiffness.
Yeah.
So do you have any measurement for that? And I've heard, I mean, this is my just some kind of a knowledge which I have,
Yes, sir.
is we call in a precision machining, we call
Yes, sir.
something called as a loop stiffness.
Ah.
So anything in that area, how to measure and what is the value that we should always maintain the loop stiffness?
Sir, for the first question of the surface finish matters with the whatever material difference. Yes, the surface finish depends upon the material quality also. Okay, so if you take like like steel machining, so harder the material, we will get a surface quality better. Means the shining on the component will be better when the hardness is more. So whereas when the hardness is lesser, the shining will be lesser, and also it contributes for even the RA value change for some level, some extent. So material type also matters the overall surface quality of the die machining. That is one part. Second part is second question is the stiffness of the axis. Basically, the stiffness of the axis can be measured by how much velocity gain I can able to set it for the axis. Okay, so if the axis is able to take like velocity gains more than 300, then we can say the axis is more stiffer. So if let us say by setting the velocity gain more like 300 and above, if the axis vibrates, then the axis is not stiffer. So typical gains like loop gains more than 5,000 and the velocity gains more than 300 will be the values for the good axis with the better stiffness, sir. Anything going below these values, then we can say it is not good mechanical stiffness.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your wonderful answer.
Thank you, sir.
Ashok, thanks a lot really for that wonderful session. You went in so detailed, and like a typical teacher, you taught all of us the machining, that art. But
Yeah.
do there any participant has got any specific question? Yeah, there's one message there from Rupa.
Okay.
I think all the participants are requested kindly to fill the feedback form. Okay. Yeah. Hello.
Any other question?
If there are
Sir,
no questions, yeah, please.
Sir, not particularly related to about this. Thank you very much. We could understand the basic machining about the mold. Sir, however, can we have one more session on this die maintenance or mold maintenance and what are the tools and all required for that? I just have a request for the organizer.
No, I really appreciate, I think it's Narashima, right, who asking the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I mean, if there are specific questions that can be elaborated further. See, there is a difficulty or there is an advantage as well as a disadvantage in webinars. We all quietly sit back and listen, whereas for the speaker, neither he can see us nor he can see our reactions. It'll be really monotonous for him unless we interact and be with him. And definitely, it's left to Shiv Ganesh and Mr. Ashok to have such another session. But definitely, it was very, very educative and informative. And on behalf of all the participants, I thank really Ashok for this session. Especially when you gave the case studies with such a details, it's a good education for anybody. Any other questions from
Any other
others?
questions, sir?
No, we still have got another 8 minutes to go.
Yeah.
I request participants to utilize this session. And because he went in such a depth, like a typical teacher, he went explaining everything, whether it's the cusp height or pick speed or tool diameter. I really have personally appreciate it, Ashok, the way you went around.
Yeah, sir. We were looking at only the control side earlier. Okay, but this is like an we can say it is our experience. Okay, so we have learnt. Okay, so we have visited almost like thousands of end users where they are doing this die machining, and we could understand the pain points of the die and mold makers. So, and this is like in our learnings and our journey in understanding the overall die mold requirements, and what all the factors which is contributing to the final finished product of the die mold. So it is like an overall experience what we got in maybe like almost like some last 5 to 10 years, sir.
That's really good. And if there are no questions or any queries, and definitely I also agree that there should be a follow-up session, and which will really educate the engineers in the industries. It is a benefit for all the individuals as well as the industries. Thanks. I really appreciate the FANUC India for sparing your time, and you personally compiling so much of data and sharing it with all the individuals. And that was a wonderful session, personally for me. And that too going into such a nice details, and you have explained it. And Mr. Prakash, you got anything to say?
No, first of all, I think, yeah, I was also very, very keen observer. In fact, I learned most of it, I think, through this session. It's a wonderful session. I think I'll really thank Ashok and also Shiva Ganesh of FANUC having organized this, and I really thank Mr. Ramesh also having chaired this session and took it forward. And I think I'm very sure in this session there are people who are specifically from the mold machining background, and I'm definitely damn sure that they would have got some takeaway from this. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for this kind of a session. Thank you.
And if I can, appreciate Ashok, your speed was perfect. It was
Okay.
neither fast nor it's slow. for anyone to catch up. It was really good because I have been in different webinars, and you have got that art. You have really mastered the way one should speak in such technical sessions. Once again, I'll thank you and Shiva Ganeshan and Mr. Prakash, who has been, supportive of all such sessions. And certainly, we have to thank BCIC for providing us this forum, and Mr. Prithvi or Rupa, if they are available, any comments from your end, please.
Sir, I'd like to really thank the Industry Manufacturing Committee to taken this initiative, and it was really wonderful that close to the registration participants who are registered, it was close to 90% people are logged in and taken this. So this shows a positive sign that people are interested to learn things from the chambers which take the initiative. I'd like to really thank Mr. Prakash, the chair, and also Ramesh sir for curating this session, and special thanks to Shiv Ganesh to make this happen, and also to Ashok as a speaker. That's really great, sir. And we look forward for further more sessions, technical sessions, which will bring more benefits to our members. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we close.
Thank you very much.
Once again, thanks to Ashok. Sorry, Rupa, you said something.
Thank you very much, sir, for addressing the session, sir.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Thank
you really being so supportive and helping everyone in every aspect. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Prakash. Then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I thank BCIC for arranging this workshop, and I thank Prakash sir, Ramesh sir, and Rupa for and all the BCIC team for organizing this. And thank you very much for all the participants who have attended this workshop, and I hope there will be some takeaway for them with this session which is organized by BCIC. I thank you. I thank everyone who has attended this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks to all. Thanks also to the participants.
Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate.
Thank you.